Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on WandaVision. And this will be my review and breakdown for WandaVision episode 3, where I'll obviously go over the episode bit by bit as I give you guys my overall thoughts on it, alongside some Easter eggs and some theories that I have to share with you guys. And oh boy, was this episode very interesting. I'm just packed with mystery. And obviously, before I get into anything else, spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen the episode, you have been warned. And also make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more WandaVision content coming your way. Okay, so this episode takes place in the 1970s, I believe, right after where we left off last episode, where we obviously had everything becoming colored and Wanda becoming pregnant. And basically we have this doctor examining Wanda just to check if she's pregnant or not, and the doctor's like, oh yeah, you're clearly pregnant. And as Vision is escorting the doctor, well, Wanda's belly is getting bigger. So this clearly has something to do with time working a lot differently in this reality. Like, every minute that goes by in this episode, Wanda's belly keeps getting bigger and even closer to childbirth than before. But we do also have these differences of opinion between the two couples, where Wanda and Vision are thinking of names for the child. So Wanda wants Tommy, I think it was, and Vision wanted Billy. But little do they know, they're about to get twins, so it doesn't matter about that argument. We then cut to this montage of the two couples where Wanda is using her powers to set up this nice room for the kid, and she's obviously assembling the crib and painting the walls, whilst Vision on the other hand is speed reading this book on child pregnancy. So he could obviously pass forward those tips that he learned to Wanda. So for example, one of them we see is that as Wanda starts to feel pain, well, Vision gives her breathing exercises to calm her down. But as Wanda starts breathing and practicing those tips, well, the house becomes a mess. It becomes chaotic, where everything such as the sink, for example, starts overflooding. The lights just fall down and just crash on the floor. We just get these glitches in reality in the house. So that was very interesting to see, because the whole neighborhood is feeling the exact same things that they were feeling. So when the lights went off for Wanda's house, Dottie's house was out of electricity as well. So those things were very interesting to see. So this could be a glitch in reality maybe, where if Wanda is doing this timeline change, then everything she's altering could result to these glitches happening. Or it could very much be that someone is controlling this reality, not Wanda, and we have these bunch of people being a part of this reality, and Agnes could be working for the villain. And basically, due to how powerful Wanda is, they could use that to their advantage. So Wanda has full control of her powers, which allows her to create Vision and alongside other things that she wants as well. And then Agnes can act friendly in front of her to obviously manipulate her into doing something wrong, and I'll get more into that theory later on. Now, one very interesting thing we have is Vision noticing that something is up as he starts putting these pieces together, where the Hart family started choking, for example, back in episode 1. And now these glitches in reality, if you will, are just getting him concerned, there's something up. But Vision tried explaining it to Wanda until we get another reverse in time, just like last episode, and they're acting like normal couples, like nothing has happened. So this is just a theory, but maybe these characters don't exactly have their memories in this reality, they don't remember their Avengers or something like that. They are in control of themselves, but to a certain extent, and it changes by the way that they're acting. So if the villain is Mephisto, for example, they do what he desires them to do. So when Vision was concerned about this, Mephisto basically shifts this from happening, and then he thinks of something else. Maybe that is something that goes on, but again, I'm not entirely sure. But again, as I alluded to earlier as well, it could also be that these bunch of people are trapped in this reality, Wanda included, and these characters can only control themselves to an extent, but if they can act in a way where they aren't supposed to, then their memories of that moment would be deleted and then reset back to how they were before. Something like that, I'm not entirely sure. And since Wanda has some control of this reality as well, she could alter it to how she needs to as well. And as I said before as well, they could use that to their advantage if that is the case. But the two couples are having a nice moment together until Wanda is feeling more pain with the baby. So Vision basically miscalculated. He's like, okay, you're supposed to be having childbirth on Friday. How on earth did you have it so quick? But we then have Vision just going like, oh, okay, practice your breathing exercises, and then that was pretty hilarious to see, like Wanda going like, oh no, I'm not gonna do this at first, and then she starts doing it. That was pretty funny to see. But then this results to the house pouring with rain. So maybe what's happening over here is that the people behind this reality want Wanda for her to basically break her water, but maybe she fights against that, and then that results into pouring rain instead on the ceiling. But it could also be that she's the one that wants to do all of this. I'm not entirely sure. We then have another TV commercial, but this time it's a Hydra soak. So I'm guessing whatever's happening over here, this has something to do with Wanda's memory somehow. Like in the first episode, we obviously had the Stark clock, and then that resembling the bomb that killed Wanda's parents, and then we had like the Hydra watch, and now we have the Hydra soak. Now, honestly, I have no idea what these TV ads are for, but maybe they're just Easter eggs and linked to Wanda's memories, I guess. But since Wanda's water broke, Vision rushes to go grab the doctor, but then the bell rings, and Wanda is heading to answer it, and it's Geraldine, or shall we say Monica Rambeau, coming into the house, and she asks Wanda whether or not she has a bucket. But Wanda, on the other hand, is trying to cover up the fact that she is pregnant, because how could someone become pregnant so quick? So she tries covering it up with like these coats so Monica doesn't notice. But Monica notices like something is up, at least because of the goose making noises, and she seems to be paranoid at first until she cuts back into Geraldine mode. So she's probably acting like she has no idea what is going on, because she is a SWORD agent after all, as we find out later on in the episode. So it could be that SWORD comes across this reality and they send Monica to go in and investigate it, because they know that Wanda is still inside. But as Geraldine is talking to Wanda about random stuff, Wanda is too focused on getting rid of the goose. But then this leads to Monica noticing the crib, and Wanda reveals that she is pregnant. And oh boy, is the baby coming out. And Monica's basically preparing Wanda for childbirth, but then the furniture in the house start like getting affected as well, probably due to Wanda's powers. I'm not entirely sure, but we obviously do have Monica helping Wanda out to pushing the baby out, eventually leading to the baby being born. And one Easter egg we do see with one of the babies is that they have a birthmark on their forehead. So kind of like how Vision has the Mind Stone, well, they have a birthmark on their forehead, which was a nice touch. But obviously Vision was too late to witness the childbirth, as he's just arrived with the doctor. But the doctor is in a state of shock, because he's like, I just left, how's your baby born? So that was quite funny to see as well. And whatever is happening over here, whether it's Wanda actually creating this fake reality or whether it's someone controlling whatever is happening, it's nice to see Wanda being happy like this, because it's something we never got to see. Every movie she was in, she was broken by something at least, so seeing her happy in this reality was quite good to see. But Vision then agrees to name the kid Tommy until another baby starts to be born, and we have twins, Tommy and Billy. Still don't know if they will grow up to be Speed and Wiccan, but maybe they'll just refer to as Tommy and Billy. Now maybe it could be that because Vision agreed to call the baby Tommy, Wanda asks for another baby and then she creates Billy. That could also be something that's going on, but again, I'm not entirely sure. But here is where things get more and more interesting. As Vision speaks to the doctor and escorts him out of the house, the doctor says he isn't traveling because it's too hard to escape. So clearly something is going up over here, and this is the thing contradicting the theory that Wanda is creating this reality, because there is no way Wanda will be the one that captures all these people just for like a selfish intention. Despite her having control of this reality, I don't see Wanda trapping all these people, so I think there is actually someone else who is doing this. So another possible theory is that Wanda and this person who Wanda didn't know was a villain may basically cut like a deal with someone where she enters this reality and has some control of it, so that she could obviously create stuff which suits her needs. But then as these events go around, basically Wanda starts screwing up, and then that eventually leads to the original reality getting altered as well, kind of like Flashpoint, if you guys know what I mean by that. So basically Barry creates his reality of his own, and then that results to change into the original timeline. So that's what I think is going on over here, where Wanda basically does something with this fake reality, and that results to the real one getting harmed with what she's doing. Now Agnes starts to seem more suspicious and she starts talking to Vision about Geraldine or Monica Rambeau, whatever you want to call her, and she starts to mention how she has no home, and Vision starts to notice how something is up with this reality. And we have the other guy next to Agnes, I forgot his name, repeating the same words over and over again, kinda like that Stop It incident from episode 1. But this guy is talking about Monica as he says, she came here because, she came here because, she came here because. And he was about to say something until Agnes looked in fear and stopped him. So clearly everyone over here in this reality knows what is going on, because if this guy knows, then clearly everyone else knows what's going on. Now there was a theory saying that Agnes is potentially Agatha Harkness, working for supposedly the main villain of the season, that being Mephisto the Devil, and he could potentially be the one creating this reality. So maybe these people over here are all working for Mephisto and they play the part of whoever they're supposed to be in this reality, because if someone slips accidentally, just like what that guy was about to do if Agnes didn't stop him, Vision and Wanda are really powerful Avengers and they know that. So they could be in hot water if something slips. Now this isn't my theory, this is a YouTuber called Arrowverse Scenes Theory who shared this to me, and it seems quite interesting, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. But he says Mephisto could be the one creating this reality, and he's getting Agnes to try and manipulate Wanda because the whole for the children thing was heavily emphasized in episode 2, and then she suddenly had a baby, and Mephisto might need Wanda's kids to put his soul into them like he did in the comics. So Agnes is basically leading Wanda into this trap and manipulating her so Mephisto can take over. As I said, this isn't my theory, I'm not too familiar with Wanda comics, so I didn't know about this, but it was pretty interesting, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. So because of that, this theory that I just mentioned, they need to act like they're normal people so eventually Wanda doesn't catch up and ruin their plans. But then as Vision is confused, Agnes is just changing the subject like that, so Vision is confused, but like, wait, what was this guy about to say if you didn't stop him? So she clearly has ties to the villain, that's pretty much confirmed already. She keeps acting more and more suspicious as we go on, so she clearly has something to do with the villain, and Vision is basically left with suspicion. But something very interesting is that this time Vision's memories were not altered, he still has his memories. And once again alluding to the theory that they have some control of what's going on, but not entirely. But with Wanda and Monica's side, we have more interesting stuff going on. We get a Quicksilver reference by Wanda as she mentions her brother and she starts to sing what it looks to be like a Sokovian song to her babies. And that's until Monica starts realizing that something is up and she asks about, is it that Ultron killed her brother? And then we basically have Wanda getting emotional by this and she demands answers for like how she knows about this. And basically Wanda asks about the sword necklace on her. She's like, what is that? So clearly she is working for them, she is working for Sword and she's investigating what is going on over here. And Wanda's basically demanding answers in regards to what this necklace is and who this woman is in general. But Monica clearly knows what's happening, but she's just acting like she doesn't know, or else her cover as a Sword agent would be blown. That's what I'm guessing is happening over here. But as Vision enters the house to talk to Wanda, we get this mystery in regards to what Wanda has done to Monica, and we have Wanda covering it up by saying, oh, she had to go home. Now there was actually a deleted scene that happened where we do actually see Wanda throwing Monica out of the reality, but I think they cut it off over here just to show the mystery. But we then cut to this sudden shift in aspect ratio of the screen where we are in the present day timeline and we are like in a normal aspect ratio and Monica gets blown away out of Wanda's reality or Mephisto's reality, whatever it is. So this could be where I said, indeed Wanda may not be the person who created this reality, but she is someone who can alter a couple of things. So in other words, whoever poses a threat to Wanda, she throws out, because she doesn't want to get out of this reality. She is happy with her life because she has Vision with her. So why would she want to get out? So during episode 2, we obviously had the Wanda, can you hear me? Wanda, who's doing this to you scene. And this was said by Sword agents trying to communicate with Wanda. So maybe the Sword agents are aware that there's something wrong in this reality and Wanda's being manipulated, and Sword are basically trying to communicate with Wanda and saying that something is wrong over here, and basically they send Monica to go and investigate what is going on. That could be something that's going on. But then this episode ends with Monica thrown out of Wanda's reality, and then a bunch of SWORD agents just start circulating her, and they will probably plan on like infiltrating the area or something along those lines. But overall, this was my favorite episode so far. Lots of mystery being continued, and I cannot wait to see what is next because this show is just truly amazing. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about this episode. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.